Hi, it's John Binnie. I'd love today to channel a message from Archangel Raphael today to talk about questions I have about our human lives, what happens when we die, what happens when our bodies die and we traverse into these different realms, and also what changes are happening on the planet at this time and going into 2025 that will continue to affect this experience, this human journey for each of us. And I've already set up a safe space by connecting up into the highest dimension of source above, connecting down into the core of Mother Earth and surrounding myself in a golden bubble of protective light, and setting the intentions on the energies and entities with my permission. My highest good love and compassion can see me, access me, or exist within this space or within me. And I invite in my guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. And if you'd like to, please join me by taking in a deep breath in through the nose. And breathe out what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. And at this time, I would like to ask Archangel Raphael to step forwards, to be able to step into me and to channel through me and answer the question about what happens today when we die, when our physical form dies. And yes, please, Archangel Raphael, step into me now. I come to you with the amount of energy of me that John can hold. He is aware of my high vibrations, and I give him what he needs at this time in terms of an energy match. These are indeed magical times, and so what I tell you today may change tomorrow. Be aware, dear souls, that each of you have this incredible ability. You have incredible abilities to heal well beyond your awareness and your mental models and paradigms and capacities. And before we speak more of these, I allow you to take me to the question you asked about what happens today if we die. Well, simply, and in many respects, nothing happens other than the body, the human body, can decide to lay to rest. And just as we imagine wearing a uniform, as humans wear the uniforms of policemen and women, firefighters, firemen and women, your doctors and nurses, even when you wear your suits or your ties and you go to your work, these are the skins that you place over the top of yourselves, over your human forms. These are the roles that you play. And just as you take these uniforms off at night before you go to bed, these too are the cycles that you experience of the human body. That the human body is a skin, it is a form that you step into and allow yourself to become part, not only of this reality, but to also play the role that your soul has chosen in this lifetime. And remember that these lifetimes happen each day. They happen with the morning, with the dawn and the dawning. And they happen with nightfall, when the end of the day comes and you go to sleep. These two are similar to the cycles of the birth and death that you experience in your life. And throughout your lifetime, you experience hundreds and into thousands of these births and deaths each day. The purpose your soul has chosen varies uniquely with each of you. You come into your lifetimes to serve your purpose to serve the mission that you have chosen, sometimes choosing to work with other souls, and quite often you come here to grow your soul, to experience the traumas, to experience the joy and excitement. This whole spectrum range you choose to explore in this journey of your life to help you grow. And the human body itself is capable of living much longer than you perhaps realize, especially if you choose to talk with your body, to form strong bonds, to become more of a synergy between the two of you, that you understand the partnership between your mind and body, between your heart and your body, your soul and your body, that you are a team working together. It is not one without the other. It is all working together. And before we speak more of longevity, let me get closer to the answer of the question that you seek, that what happens when your body dies? Well, first of all, when the body dies, this is when your soul and your body have decided that the amount of self-love and the gravitational pull of your soul into your body has diminished to an extent that you're ready to release that body, to release that form, and lay it to earth, lay it back to Mother Earth. Allow yourself to know this truth. Allow yourself to feel this in your heart. Allow yourself to open up your heart to know that you will stay on this planet for as long as you choose, and for as long as your soul has chosen. And that all deaths, to at least some extent, have been a conscious awareness of your soul in this journey. So in our lifetimes, through these different traumas and joys that we experience, there are the opportunities to be able to open up your heart and connect more with your body, and to realize that as you approach the day that your body dies, or should I say, the day that you choose as a team between your mind and body and soul, when you choose to bring this body's life to an end, that you're ready to learn new lessons, then it is time to step out of this body. And you do so by leaving the anchor where your soul connects into your heart, into this human form. This is when the soul lets go and releases, a bit like releasing the grip that you'd have over your heart and letting it go. And at this time, the body is released. The body can lay down and finally rest. And as you do this, your soul is free once more. Just as you would take off your uniform at night for your work, and you would take off your clothes and you'd put them down and climb into your bed, this too is true for your soul leaving your body. As your soul leaves your body, you are putting down your body and leaving it to rest. Your full consciousness is still intact. And in fact, even when you first let your body go, your full incarnation is still fully intact. And this means that the energy of you, your thoughts, your feelings, everything that happened in that life is still very much real and still very much connected to you. As you release the body, this is when the changes begin. And they are a series of steps. If we speak for a moment of the first few days after the death, you have the opportunity to immediately, or you may want to stay around your loved ones for a few days. You are guided to release your body and to feel your connection with Source, the returning to Source. And many of us have many different choices to make. Some of us choose to be lost, like ghosts, like hungry ghosts wandering between dimensions. Just like our bodies are very much today of the third dimension. As we release our bodies, we step into the fourth. And in the fourth dimension, This is where our emotions and our memories are held. And this is why we still retain them after the body and the brain dies and is laid back to the soil and back to earth. These are truly magical experiences because our memories and our incarnation, the construct of that lifetime, still remain with our soul. And they also remain with the highest aspect of ourself. Perhaps you'd like now to imagine with me, as I have shown John many times, at the center of a wheel is your soul. Your soul is a beautiful, infinite being, and it exists for as long as you choose to be separated from the source of love of this universe. You can choose to return to source and come back out of source. When you return into source, you are not forced to integrate and become solely part of unity and to lose your identity and to lose your soul. But you are able also to sustain yourself outside of unity, outside of the pure unity, and remain simply connected in unity to source and every other being across this universe, but still be a unique individual soul. As you are outside of source, you are able to retain this source energy within you, always connected from the center of your soul into source in that unity connection. And knowing that at the center of your wheel, you are the soul. And from the center of the wheel, there are many spokes that come out to the outside, the outer wheel. Each of these spokes, first of all, about halfway along, they connect into a higher self. And a higher self, you have many of these, each one connected into an incarnation of you. And so if you took this current lifetime that you're here listening to this video with, your soul is connected through the spoke of your wheel out to your higher self, and then from your higher self all the way out to your human form and connecting into the heart of your human form. When you release that human form, when it dies and you lay it down into the earth, what happens is your soul allows you to step back up to becoming your higher self. Now, your higher self can still experience and still exist and still hold on to that incarnation of you. This is how, in many respects, the ghosts that you witness or spirits or beings that come into the fifth, fourth, and third dimensions are able to still have the construct, have the memories and the feelings of the incarnation, and yet without the body. This is because the main frame of the spoke of the wheel and of the higher self are still attached to the soul, and they still exist, often because there is unfinished work to do, or because you're being called in to each other. I'd like you now to reflect a little bit on some of these concepts that I've been sharing with you. I'd like you now also to be aware of what happens when you think of or feel the soul of another being. And by this, I mean, in your human terms, if you are to think of a friend, across space and time, your soul becomes closer to them. You draw their soul in towards you, and you draw across space and time. You become much closer together. And this does not stop just because a body has died. And in fact, their body has very little to do with the distance that feels between you. So if you have a friend that is perhaps in a different country, maybe they're on the other side of the planet, or someone you work with, and you think of them, you pull them into your awareness and into your energy field. And what you feel about them, it is likely, depending on how sensitive they are, or how much they believe, or how close they are, that they will also experience these thoughts and feelings that you have for them, just like you're very close together in the same room. This is also true when our loved ones, our friends, our families die, that their bodies die and lay down into the earth. As you'll experience the closeness, as you think of them, as you feel them, they are right with you. And so I would always invite you to share perhaps a little bit of love, at very least when you first greet the feeling of the awareness of another being. When you think of them, when you speak of them in your mind and in your heart, perhaps extend some love to that conversation, because this is what is truly received by them. And so for those of our many loved ones that have died in this lifetime and that their bodies have been laid to the earth, and that their minds and their thoughts and their feelings continue to exist in their higher self, in their highest aspects. When we think of them, we draw them in, we draw in that incarnation, and we draw it in closer to our hearts, closer to us at this time. Allow this to be true for you if it resonates. And perhaps next time you want to bring in a loved one to experience what it's like to sit with them, to be with them, to hold them in your heart. Perhaps you'd like to invite them in to your space and to sit with you, to sit next to you and talk to them just as we are talking together at this time. You can practice this right now with me if you choose. So to do so, begin by taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now focus on a loved one, family, friend, or anyone you deeply care about that their body has died. Ask them to be here now with you, to be close to you. Welcome them to your space. Say hello. Hello, dear souls. And tell them that you love them or how you feel about them. I love you, dear souls. And allow them to send their love if that's what they choose to do also. You can now release these beautiful souls. Release them back to wherever it is they choose to exist at this time. When you do this, you can also extend the conversation just to have a chat for as long as you wish. Perhaps sit down and have a cup of tea or a coffee. Perhaps sit down in your favorite place that you shared with them. For the more you feel closer to others, the closer you are. And as I focus my attention now on John's heart and John's body, he is aware of some of the upgrades that he is going through. For example, the recent increasing and activation of his abilities, as he witnessed on his live stream on Monday, with his third eye continuing to open and seeing incredibly very graphic detail of scanning people's bone and skeletal structures, their veins, their organs, as well as their chakras and their skin and every part of them. These are activations that John, for example, are going through. And it's a gift he's yielded many times in many lifetimes to be able to see as a seer. Unlike many of us, John has chosen to be able to work through that gift, to be able to live quite a long time in this life with that gift largely closed, a bit like a superpower being deactivated so that you can experience and grow all of your other superpowers. Just as people that cannot see with these two eyes very well often increased their abilities with their other senses. So I use this as an example of an upgrade that just John is going through, and many of you across this planet are going through your own upgrades. These are DNA upgrades. They are happening as a result of a combination of factors. These include your own soul's desire for this to happen and the consent of your soul in this lifetime. They also include your happiness and health. Your body must feel not in a fight and flight mode. It must feel much more relaxed and safe. And the safer you are, the more likely you are to be able to receive and adapt to and integrate these DNA upgrades. Also, the ascension waves that flow from the center of source of this universe that flow through you, they flow through the stars and your sun into your heart and into your planet. And they continually bring up the vibration of this whole universe. They are a response to your direct request to wish to upgrade. This is Source's response to ask. When you ask for more and more activations, more development of your psychic abilities, a fairer, more loving and compassionate world, these are all raising the vibrations. These waves that flow through you are a bit like the future echoes of what is coming for you. As these happen, get plenty of rest and drink plenty of water and listen to your body. And you can also ask and speak to your guides and ask them for a break. And yes, you can also call on me, Archangel Raphael, to assist you. Some of you will notice that during these ascensions, that as your bodies change, your diet also needs to change. And this is not just your food. This is your water, what you drink, what you watch on your phones and your TVs, and your radios, and whatever you consume. Know that these diets, these energetic diets, are very important. For the more that you focus on the higher vibrations, the easier it is for you to consume higher vibrations to become higher vibrations. So know that you are what you consume, and so pay close and conscious attention to what you consume. As all of this continues, there is a journey that your human form is going through. Some of you have noticed that on your skin, you start to see sparkles. You start to see these crystalline crystals forming. This is because the body and the blood, the plasma of your blood, for example, as just one aspect of you, is continuing to raise in vibration. And as it does, you enter the crystalline state. You are becoming more like a liquid crystal. And this liquid crystal plasma is capable of holding much higher vibration versions of you. In fact, as this planet ascends, and Mother Gaia has already ascended into 5th and just started to rise up into 6 dimensions, to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensions, Mother Gaia has stretched herself so that you can have an elevator or a lift, as it were, for you to continue to step up without having to physically leave this planet. The beauty of this is that you can continue to raise your vibration and choose the dimension that you exist in. And these dimensions are bubbles. They are bubbles around you individually, just like John's golden bubble that he creates around him. And then also the bubbles around you collectively. And so as you allow your own vibration to rise up and the frequency of your bubble to rise up, so does your body. Your body continues to upgrade. And so does every aspect of you. Now, let me answer the question of what would happen if you were to die, if your body was to physically die, perhaps in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Regardless of how old you are right now, and John has just turned 48, imagine another 100 years that instead of John's body dying just like you'd expect it to, that there would be an evolution, and that this evolution, this transformation would be that John continues to consume higher and higher vibration energies, both from his work, his own meditation practice, his own exercise, his thoughts and his feelings towards himself, his food, his drink, what he consumes online and any movies or whatever he chooses to consume into him. The energy of this, as it continues to rise, remember we spoke of the wheel and the soul at the center of the wheel. What happens is that instead of the body having to physically die and disconnect from the higher self and for the body to return to the earth, Instead, what is happening continually is that the older, denser parts of the human form are literally dropping away and falling to earth. This is laid to the earth, including through your own natural human waste, and also like the shedding of your skin, and also the releasing of any negative energies or entities that attach to you. And the exciting evolution and transformation, this alchemy of the human race, is that as you enter these higher vibrations, your higher self that's connected up into your soul, you get closer and closer to it. And as your body gets physically closer to it, it does not need to die in the same way. Yes, there are continual deaths, and yes, there are phases of your life where your vibration rises up. And to people that are of a lower vibration, they would see you and experience you they would see only the aspects of you that are the heavier, denser, older parts of you that are not renewing and that are ready to fall away. And to this respect, they would also see a death of you, perhaps even have a funeral of you. Know that you will continue to rise up in vibration, still fully intact with your consciousness, your awareness, your memories, your individual incarnation. And so just as John has been shown through his future memories in sessions that he has done when he's accessed his future, he sees a very long lifetime, very surprising and very long. And he also sees this continually in client sessions, that many people, as they reach their 60s and 70s and 80s, begin to wonder how long their life will last. Well, know that for many of you, and those of you that are likely watching this video, that connect and resonate with this journey and with this story, know that it can become your journey and your story. And so what are the truths that will help you on your journey for longevity in this incarnation? First, cultivate your self-love every day. I, Archangel Raphael, do so much work just to help you build your self-love. When you truly love yourself, you choose all the best things for you. Just as if you were in a romance with yourself, you would take yourself to all the best places, serve yourself all the best food. You would love yourself. You would talk to yourself under the moonlight, under the stars. You would take yourself to the ocean on dates and long walks, and you would nurture yourself, care for yourself. These foundational practices are the very heart and the very simple way of you being able to take good care of your body physically and metaphysically, energetically. So know this, the more that you grow your love for yourself, the longer your life will be. It is as simple as this. And yes, it's true for all the things I just said about John, about his ability to work through changing his diet. No more sweets, John. No more cakes. Just allow those to reduce in number and quantity until eventually you let them go and continue to focus on fruits and vegetables, on the foods that really resonate with you, the food that is alive itself, especially when you consume it, and that has been grown with love. And know that the more you consume at these higher vibrations, the higher your vibration will become, the easier you'll find it to love yourself, and the more you will celebrate yourself. So, dear souls, I answer these questions of what would happen if you were to die today, and what would happen if you were to die in the coming years as you continue to raise your vibration and to transform into the crystalline form of yourself. I hope this message finds you well. I thank John for asking these questions. And if you have questions for John or for me, Archangel Raphael, I ask you to add these in any way that John requests. I send you so much love, and I ask that you know that Archangel Raphael is simply an expression of the collective need for each of you to connect in with each of your own magical healing capabilities and so much more. And so for this, I am truly honored to fulfill this role to you and reflect back to you that I am the healing within you, personified. Thank you so much. And I leave John at this time. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. That was a really long channel, and it was very energizing and very loving. And it was quite funny because sometimes I feel like when I'm channeling like that I'm quite conscious that John is like fully there, especially when I hear the words and the terms and the things like mental models and paradigms. But I can see, like, it's like in my mind when, in this case, Archangel Raphael was channeling through me, he would like choose, he would find the energy of what he wanted to express through me, and then he would choose the words that I was like able to translate, to map to. It's like kind of connecting in with those, the nearest best fit for terminologies. But yeah, really magical. And how exciting to be able to live for a very long time. And also with that, for many people, it's quite scary as well, that you're going to have to take responsibility for yourself and you can't just give up at a certain age. And in fact, it becomes more important, especially the older you get, to look after yourself more and more if you choose longevity and you want to look after this planet for longer. And also, it was so beautiful to connect in when we brought in different souls. I brought in 3 loved ones, that 2 friends and my mother's mother, my nan, who died many years ago, and they were just so happy to say hello, and it was just a really powerful, beautiful experience. Excuse me. So thank you so much, Archangel Raphael. Thank you to my loved ones for visiting, and thank you for just an incredible opportunity to channel for you and to share today's messages. I hope that they find you well, and also thank you all for all your kind love and support. For my father, who is out of intensive care and has stabilized, and looking forward to seeing him again, just regularly seeing him in the hospital and sending him so much love. And so thank you for all your kind love and support. It's truly greatly received. I was going to say overwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It is a really beautiful experience. So thank you. And very humbling, I think, is a better way of saying it. So I'm going to close down this session, this safe space that I created for our meditation and channeling today, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael in particular, Source and Gaia, as I ask all of us to step outside of the session as I close it down and return it to Source. Thank you so much, dear souls. I hope this resonates with you, and please share it with your friends, and please also put in the comments anything that you'd like to share. And if you have any requests for questions from archangels or any other beings or my guides or myself, please do put them in, and I'd love to do future videos for you. Take care. Sending so much love from Scotland. And I know, please do check out my website, johnbinnie.com. If you can see how to spell John Binnie. And right now I have a free trial on my membership. For the first month is free, and you can cancel at any time. Please do join us. We have 2 Zoom calls every month. And we also have a dedicated membership group where you can go in and chat, and we talk about the themes of each month. And there's also an app for Android, and coming soon for iPhone. There's the Wix Spaces app for iPhone that you can use. And there was one more thing to tell you. Oh yeah, and you also get, for that month, you'll get access to our premium meditations. So these are like 1 hour plus long, kind of John one-to-one style, like you're having a session with me. They're recorded meditations, and there's a range of them already, from developing and activating quantum psychic energy and your healings, one for past lives called the Hidden Witch Wounds, and one for clearing negative energies and entities, one for cultivating self-love. And Archangel Raphael was talking a lot about that. So you can access all those during that 3 month trial, or you can go on and pay the monthly fee thereafter. So yeah, just sharing all this, and I hope it finds you well. Sending so much love from Scotland. Take care. I love you.